Good evening, everyone. This is Sarabpreet from GETI, the Global Education and Training Institute of Lucknow. It's the premier teacher training institute in India, and you are on our education platform provided to us by our mentor, Dr. Sunita Gandhi, where we have met educators from India and all over the world for more than 1,000 times. And today, very glad to have Singh with us. He is the principal of the Sky Valley International School in Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. 25 years of experience. He's got an MCom and an MA in economics. He has an LLB. He had education. He is a CSE, COE resource person, teacher trainer, expert parent, and student counselor. Besides for that, he has received the award for outstanding contributions in the field of education, received Indian Star excellent contribution in the field of education by India Star Book of Records. He has received the award for being speaker at the 10th ELES Schools Leadership Summit held on 20th March 2019. Received Top Schools of India Ranking 2018 award by Digital Learning. Received citation initiatives and invaluable contribution in reinventing school for all-round development of school students by Rocksport. Received the certificate of recognition as Top School of India 2017-18 by Digital Learning, and received the Shiksha Gaurav Samman Award 2017 for excellent contribution in the field of education by ADM City and the DIOS. Besides for that, he is the Vice Chairperson for IDYM Foundation, the Kanpur Zone President for Private Schools and Children Association, National Expert Team Member, EduFed Foundation, National Core Advisor, SEWA, Honorary Ambassador, Vishwa Sambandh Parishad, and the National Advisor for Wednesday Times. So thank you, sir, for being with us this evening. We are deeply honored, and this is not the first time that you are with us. You've come over several times, and we are thankful for that. And over to you, sir, for your topic, which is training and implementing NEP. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Mal sir. I am very thankful to GETI and Sunita ma'am that they have given me an opportunity to speak on a topic like NEP, because it is the hot cake, which is being needed to discuss each and every day since its inception. Until its implementation, these things will be discussed, because more and more things have to be got clear to the teachers, to all the stakeholders, that what actually NEP is. Earlier, we had been talking about the online classes, that how they're going to go, what are the boon and curses for the online classes. And today we are going to speak about how these, about NEP, how will it work, how far it is good, how far it is bad, what were its outcomes. So when we talk about NEP, we see that there are a lot of positivity in national education policy, and the outcomes which we'll discuss in the later on session. The first thing, but then the most important thing which I feel that NEP has brought on is that it has brought in consideration the pre-primary education, the 5+3+3+3+4, that formula it has taken, that where it will be taking the pre-primary schools also into the consideration. Earlier, this was from if on a school level, if you think that you had to get your school affiliated from class 1 onwards, there was no pre-primary. And when we are talking anything about education, we are talking about worldwide, about the whole India, the whole country. So you might be knowing or surprised to know that a maximum percentage of people, they do not go for pre-primary education and straight away get admission over their child in class grade 1 directly. So when the class, when this academic of 3 years being missed, the basics where you get, when parents, they do come to us and they talk about the pre-primary, we tell them that these are the basics, these are the roots which the children are going to have for their education. It will be fruitful to them for the whole life. So what happens is that when we talk about these type of things, we talk about the whole India, especially about the government schools and the Anganwadis and the preschools, which are on the state level or the central level, where the children are take admission in class grade 1 directly. They don't have pre-primary education. Here it will be the pre-primary on the Anganwadi will be entering into it. So when we talk about school education, we talk, of course, we talk about the college education a little bit also, but we are more concerned with school education. So we see that they have divided this. They have divided this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, that they have made the stages in between them also. Like we say from age 3 to 6, they call it ECCE, where it will be a preparatory class from which they are going to move to what they call that Bal Vatika. So here we are talking about before grade 1. So that growth, we say, when we talk about good schools or when we talk about the cities, we say these are the classes where we have playway method, where the children learn through playway method. We had been going up with the traditional method till now, the rote learning. So the basic aim of new education policy is to convert the rote learning into critical thinking by including holistic development amongst the children. So that has to be done from the very root. It is very easy to say NEP has come, this is right and this is bad, this is the ill effects, these are bad effects, these are good effects, there are more of ill effects. But when this committee has done this, a big salute to these people who have created this policy, this committee, that when they have done this, they have taken into in consideration each and everything which is needed for the Indian education. At least we are heading, we are improving, but still we are lacking behind many countries. We are developing country, but to become developed, if education is over there, everything will get developed. Illiteracy is the only reason where we are lacking. We are not getting into a developed country from a developing country. So when we want to increase the, lot of things are there, it can be discussed, that dropouts are there. Children, they don't study, they don't go to school. Their parents in wages, they don't send to the school. Even if they're going to the school, the infrastructure or the teacher's situation is very pathetic. And the children, that they leave their education, they have dropouts, as well as teachers, because we had been facing that a PGT teacher, a postgraduate teachers, becomes a PRT teacher in a government school because he'll get a handsome salary, as well as he will not have to work also. He have to go for a few days, and the rest of the days in the month he won't have to go after paying certain amount. So all these things have brought down the education level of the country. In cities, so we are living in the cities, we are moving up in the good schools and all, everything is going on. There are many points in national education policy which are already happening in many of the big schools. But the thing is that when we are talking about this thing, we want to have it throughout India. So that is why they have categorized it, that they have brought this, that at the age of 3 to 6, the child will be in the preparatory classes where he will learn, only play and learn. Then the age 6 to 8, they'll go to grade 1 and 2. That will be the foundation stage where they will also learn the basics. Then age 11 to 8, they have preparatory stage where play discovery will be there. While playing, they learn. Activity based and interactive classes will be there. See, every child is born up with the same mind just because of rote learning and the pressure of the education. They get they get out of the studies, or they become below average students or average student. So because we have to create interest among the students with learning, these stages have been formed. Then from age 11 to 14, that is from age 8 to 11, we have told that it was grade 3 to 5, where preparatory stages there, play discoveries are there, activity based and interactive classes will be there amongst the teachers and the students. Age 11 to 14, it is grade 6 to 8, where it is a middle stage. It will be the middle stage where experiential learning will be done in the sciences, maths, art, SST, and humanities. It is said that whatever interest the child has, the child will be given that thing. If he is very good in carpentry, he will be allowed to do carpentry. So whatever thing he is good in and he is artistic, let him do. He may become sometimes. We have seen in the history that so good scientists and inventions, Einstein or anyone, they had been doing so much inventions. They were not. They were also being some stupid things they are doing, but later on they were found to be a very big scientist, which have their name till now also, and will be having afterwards also. So from age 14 to 18, that is from grade 9 to 12, that is the most important one. Secondary level will be there. Multidisciplinary studies, critical thinking, flexibility, student's choice of subject. The most important thing is the student's choice of subject. Like we say, if a child is in science side, he can take PCM or PCB, while along with that he can have the English as well as the fifth and sixth subject, whatever the schools opt for. So they have limited scope for that. The commerce students will be having English, accounts, economics, business studies, and for the fifth, or if the school is having sixth subject also, that will be also optional. I mean, 2-3 varieties are over there. So the child gets into the flexible, get confined that these are the only subjects. But now, when this new education policy will come over there, the selection of subjects will become wide. That means there will be no science, commerce, or humanities stream. A child can take any stream or can take any subject. Suppose I say, if a boy, he is very good at accounts, but he is very bad at learning, so he doesn't want to take business studies over there. So he can take any other subjects also. A science student can take economics also. A science student can take, say, history also. So there will be the flexibility. There will be no curricular subjects, co-curricular subjects, or multicurricular subjects, whatever subjects are. So that will be a mixed blend of it. Whatever the child is having interest in that particular, he will take a combination of that subjects. At this time, there will be a problem that comes into the mind of the school management and the teachers or the principal also, that how can we make availability of all these things. So that will be also a point of discussion and a problem, a drawback, a setback, a little bit setback amongst the people who are coming to know about NEP, कि हमको इतने सारे सब्जेक्ट दे देंगे, बच्चे को कुछ भी कराओ, कारपेंटरी कराओ या कुछ भी कराओ. There the school will have problem, but how that can be settled, that also can be talked about also. So here the thing is that the flexibility of subjects will be there, which will bring about the all-round development of the child. And there we will not be able to say that this child is weak or this child is it's very good at studies. Everybody will be very good, because we are not going to do study according to the rote learning at the year-long, 100 years long process which we are doing till now. Then again, there are problems where when we say that medium instruction, the second problem which people do feel, it has come into an EP that you have to teach through your mother tongue. So mother tongue or the local language, whatever they say, it is not compulsory that you have to teach through the mother tongue or the local language. It is absolutely about those places where nobody is knowing English. Although the maximum places, the medium of instruction is English. Like in cities, we have medium instruction English. And those who are offering for going for the regional languages or the Hindi language, they're going to the Hindi medium schools. Even you can see that now around 50 to 60% of the UP boards or the state board schools, they have also opted for NCRT. The same pattern they're going, which we are using, 50%, 60%. So there you are using Hindi. So it is flexible. It is not compulsory that everything, all the subjects or everything has to be taught in the mother tongue. So a big branded school like D+ or any school or CMS, any school, they don't have to teach in Hindi. It's not their language. They can teach in English. It is all about the places where it is in interior. They don't have English teachers or English medium teachers. They cannot teach in English. The student cannot understand English. There they can study with their local language or the regional language. Flexibility has been given because the learning process should go amongst the student. It is not that this thing has to be fixed on over there. Now, very good about this NEP is that it is bringing about flexibility and for the all-round development of the child. They are not forcing anything. The very good about this policy is they are not forcing anything upon the schools or the management. The best thing they are doing is that they are giving flexibility with the development of the child, the holistic development of the child. Art integration has been added, or sports integration has had been added into. So that thing is very important. If the child will get into the things, we have been seeing that in old times, or in our time when we had been studying only, there were no activities. But nowadays, without activity, a child cannot grow. But how far we are doing it, they are bringing into this, that with the activities, your child will get developed. The next thing is that student will have to, have, because we are going up with vocational education also along in it. So here it is said that almost 10 days in a month, the children will have a bagless day. They don't have to bring bag. They will be doing only vocational education they'll have in the school. It is flexible that how many days or periods the schools will be giving for that. But the thing is that there will be vocational education. Through vocational education, the students will be able to learn more. Whatever interest they have. They have interest in music, they go for music. If they have, I said that they have interest in carpentry, they can go for that. Mechanism they want to go for, they can go for the mechanism. Whichever interest they have, they should go for that. And for 10 days in a month, they will be going for that only. And that's it. Because a blend will be given to the students, that is why they'll take interest. Right? An audience, if we give webinars, if we take workshop of the teachers or even the principals also, if we don't make it creative, if we don't put our games into it, everybody starts sleeping. So there what we do is, when we take webinars or when we take workshops of the teachers or the principals, we have to add up activities in that. When we so elderly people, we have to add up activities for bringing the things into them, and the learning part also. Then why students also need from that? Because this is their age. So how they'll grow then? And school examination will be held at 3 levels. That is in grade 8, 5, grade 3. Grade 3, 5, and 8. Assessment will shift to a formative style, which encourages high order thinking. So the assessment will be like, it's not like that long question and answers. We have already started up in the school level also. We are going up with objective questions also, multiple choice questions. So there it is, that high order level thinking, hot questions should be there, critical thinking and conceptual clarity. Many of the subjects have added, like in business studies, they have added up with the things where you have to have critical thinking, high order level thinking, because they give up a position where you have to talk about it. So many subjects they have turned into, but almost all the subjects will turn into this, that the critical thinking, high order level thinking, as well as conceptual clarity of the students will be there. That how the concept is clear to the student. It is not about how much he has learned. It is all about how the concept is clear to him. Is that concept what we have taught, or he has learned, or he has understood? We can't use the word learn. He has learned, or whatever he has understood or not, that will be there. So a lot of things, a lot of positivity, a lot of things, a handful bag of gifts this NEP is bringing it. Whenever it will be implemented, there is a saying that when some new things comes into, there's a lot of resentment also, there's a lot of problem also, there is a panic situation also. But slowly and steadily, the result, it gives a lot of happiness to everyone. When this new innovation come into being of internet and everything, I remember when these, now the things have changed a lot. Like when there were no ATMs, now so we can do it from the online transactions also. When there were no ATMs, we had to rush from school to the bank after 2 o'clock. We won't get the payment if we want to get withdrawal, if we want to withdraw our amount. But all of a sudden we came to know in our area that a new bank has come, ICICI or any SDFC, whatever it is, private bank, and they have a machine what is called ATM, and you will get a card from the bank, and anytime 24/7 you can go and withdraw the money. So the 100 years or 200 years, the corporate banks which were being government banks which were doing work, they thought, these are new private companies, how can they win over us? But we saw that there was a drastic change. These private banks took up a lot of business, and from the government officers still now also, because they gave up very good services, doorstep services also. So ultimately, the government banks also has to change. All the 20 or 25 years old or 30 years old employees who had been working up with the ledgers and all in the log books and all. They also had to get up training for the using all the computers and all. Although the harassment was being, being seen by the customers also, because they were using it very, old people, they can't use it very fast, but the youngsters, they can do it very fast. So this thing also happened. So what I want to say is that if you want to grow up, if you want to be according to the society, according to the world society, you have to change yourself. We have been saying that the education level is very good, but the system is not good. So this national education policy, whatever it is bringing in here, every child will be a bright child, because whatever concept they have given up in this policy, especially, child gets the important basics, he gets it from the schooling. So when we talk about the schooling, the child gets a lot of innovation, a lot of exposure over here. Here, a dull child, there's no dull child. Every child is born up with the same brain, but every child will be learning a lot, and he'll be growing. It's not about learning. It is about that how is he getting critical thinking, how he is getting the holistic development. So the best thing about this national education policy is that from rote learning, we are coming up to the practical learning, practical assessment, vocational learning. From class 6 onward, grade onwards, coding will be there, artificial intelligence will be there, where the children will be learning. We had a webinar, we had a workshop at a place here in Kanpur, and the person who was from IT department, because of the construction of this metro, he was a little late. So we were discussing this over there also, that drones, one day will come, that we'll be sitting on the drone and we'll be coming over to the place where we have to reach. We don't have to see about the traffic. It is nature that when these type of things are being said at the time when they are not being invented, so it feels foolish, but now they don't feel it foolish. 40 years back, when there were no mobiles, 30 years back, and when Reliance brought up a 500 rupees mobile, so my saying was that after a few years, it will be like that everybody, even a hawker, will be having a mobile with him. And it was a surprise that time. But at this time, when I'll speak this, they'll say, how stupid you are. This is in general, everybody's having a mobile. Even your mate comes to home that has a mobile. If even a hawker, he comes to a place, he also has a mobile right now. So the same thing will be like that. We had been seeing in videos and everything that the generation after 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, people will not be moving on the road. They'll be moving by air, through their cars. The cars will be flying. Driverless cars are over there. It's not here, but in foreign countries it is over there. Soon it will come over here also. So for all this thing, for the holistic development of the child, for bringing the all-round development of the child, these things are very important. These children are learning it from the very basics. And this national education policy is basically on the technology-based learning. Technology is the most important thing which is needed in present era. If technology is not over there, then we won't be able to get success. So, and for this, many things has to be done on the part of the government also, because they will be especially for the government schools, they will be providing two things. First, the thing is the infrastructure, and the second thing is about the training of the teachers. When the training of the teachers will be there, then only they'll become capable to teach the students. If the teachers themselves, they are not knowing anything, how will they be able to teach? So the training part will be taken into consideration a lot, as well as the infrastructure will also be improved for these particularly the government schools and all. And if we talk about the higher level education, so there are although national education policy has a lot of things into it, but we can't discuss all the things during this period. But the main things we are talking about in higher education and colleges, National Test Agency will be conducting a common college entrance exam twice a year. That is very good, twice a year, because grading and all the percentage and all system will not be there. There will be entrance exam, and that will be twice in a year, through which the children will get admissions in their particular streams or their colleges. Although I also feel that when these type of things are happening, the holistic development and holistic development or vocational studies is being done on the school level, this should also continue up in the college level or university level also. The courses should also be upgraded. So whatever development or the vocational studies or whatever holistic development type of things we are going to do on the school level also, there this thing should also happen at the college level, because there also the interest among the students, the learning part, the growing part should also be there. And when you talk about degree, bachelor's degree, it will be of 4 years. If someone exits after 1 year, so that will be called a certificate. After 2 years, it will be called diploma. And if there is any midterm drop, after a midterm, somebody drops up because of any reason, there will be option to complete the degree after a break. If suppose the girls get married after her first year of graduation or a second year of graduation, after 4-5 years of settling up in her in-laws, she wants to complete her graduation. So she can do it afterwards. For this, a term ABC is being used, which we call that academic bank of credit will be given, where her the first year or second year marks, whatever she has done, will be entered into that ABC, academic bank of credit. That will be password, with password which she'll be having, and when she'll be going up for the the rest of the education in whatever university she's going to apply, so that marks can be shown, or that certificate or her mark sheet can be shown over there, and she can continue up. This wasn't happening till now. If after a break you have to do it again, but here the saving of time will be there, that if you are not able to do your graduation, you can do it afterwards also, you can complete it afterwards also. That is very good about this also. And everybody knows that MPhil will also be discontinued. MPhil will be not in a position over there. A lot of other also things are going to happen in national education policy, but these are the basic things at the school level and the college level which are going to happen. The students, what I think the most important thing is that they have added up the pre-primary education into this. That is the best and the most important thing from the very starting. At the secondary and senior secondary level, what good they have done is that they have given the choice of subjects. There won't be limitation of subjects. 4 subjects for you to have to take at least till now. The 5th and 6th subject, school might be having 5 subjects, or some people have 6 subjects also. So there you have 1 or 2 or 3 options only. You don't get anything of your choice. So, but with new education policy, when there will be no limitation to that, that will be a very good thing. Talking about the implementation, as we have talked about the Anganwadis or the pre-primary education at first, how far the things are going to be taken seriously. CC pattern came into being. It was a very good thing, because it was being said that how can you judge a child in one examination that how good or bad he is, although he may be a very good student throughout the year. At the end of the session, he might be a little depressive and he wasn't able to give his exams very properly. So how can you judge he is not very good? So for this basic thing, the CC pattern came into being. Comprehensive assessment was there, that you have to check him throughout the year how he's working, for the notebooks and everything, notebooks and tests and exams and projects and everything is done. That was something like that only. But it was not taken very seriously. What I feel, it was not being handled properly. If the practical subjects have been added up in all the subjects till now, it may be science, commerce or humanities, but how far the teachers or the management or the school people, they are taking it seriously? A 20 marks practical is there, 30 marks practical is there, or a 60 or 40 marks practical is there. The school tries to give maximum marks to the student. Even the child has not performed very good, the teachers or the examiners also give the marks. So how fairly you are doing it? That means you have not given them good. That is why they have not done good, and you are giving them marks till this only. What I will to say, if it is a 30 marks practical, you have put all your efforts as a teacher for the 70 marks. So for the 30 marks also, you should have made them very good, because this is the practical approach. Why CBSE has added up all the things, practical things into this? Because they started a one thing, a small thing, although NEP is on 100% thing on this, that practical approach should be there. If suppose in accountancy it was 100 marks paper earlier and they added about 20 marks practical into it, it is in economics also, business studies also. They say, okay, we do up the writing thing and the old traditional work we are doing up, that we make up the accounts for everything and everything and everything. Children do ask, so whatever we are learning, we'll be using that practically. So there it was added that practical should be there, that they should make up projects, they will make files of companies, that they have a practical sense of learning when they go into MBA or any business or anything or any official work. They might be having an experience or doing it. But because this has been not taken seriously, so here the projects are being given to the students, made or not made. Maximum school they said the copied or whatever it is, which I don't want to blame anyone. The system has become like that in the schools. They try to get it done, and the teacher's reputation is over there, and his job is on the stake. He has to get it made with the students, and he had to give the marks, and students are answering or not, they give the marks. So here, when education policy will be there, from the very beginning, more importance will be given to the practical approach, less with the theoretical, with the learning part. Of course, the child will become himself will be so bright that he'll be able to do very good with that. Of course, there'll be a confidence in him. If we have A, B, and C category schools, even a C category school student will also be the same as of the A category school. He won't be having, a shyness. So he will be also grow like the other child will be growing. So it will be not like that you are topper, I am not topper, I am below average or below average. Everybody will be growing. Or that is the importance or the need of the hour. Indian education is so good, and it is, we see lot of brain drain is over there in India, because the education is very good in India. We are best in education. We learn in foreign countries, students, they go to school, they study also, and afterwards they do their work also after the morning time. They work also. But in Indian schools, the children have so much work that they do not even get time to play even. So education level is so heavy over here, and so learning is over here, that if this thing is being converted into the practical approach or holistic development is over there, the children can do miracle. They will not have to go outside of the country for as a brain drain. The multinational companies will themselves will come up to the country, and they'll hire them over in India also. We know very well, if the education level of the country will be good, the country, again the same thing I'll say, that the company will be able to develop. Or everybody at every level, even our prime minister is also trying to do very good about the country, about everything over there. But still, we also have something to do. It is not that one person can do everything. Whoever is sitting on that, we are not, whoever it is, it's not about politics and all. Here, so education level is there. If you are becoming a government teacher, you have to be very attentive. You have to take your training very seriously. And when you are having your training, you have to be in your schools and colleges very particularly, and you have to teach the students. I had been in connection with people at the government schools where without facilities, they had tried to bring a miracle over there in their education. They had been going to the Gram Panchayat, they had been taking their hall, let the students sit, the students sit, at distance space, and they had used a projector, and they taught them from there. So the main thing is that where there's a will, there's a way. That seriousness has to be over there, because in private schools, so already the teachers are doing so serious work. In government schools also, the teachers have to do it like this, and even the private school teachers, they also need to be trained more so that they may be able to do good to the student. The implementation, again, for a new thing, there are hurdles. There are thinking that this is not possible, but when we say impossible, it can be stretched and said, I am possible. So according to me, the national education policy has lots and lots of good things into it. There are few hurdles. There's no drawback. There are few hurdles which schools may feel, but sooner or later, outcome will come from that also. That how we can get flexibility and use this. We can give any subject to for example, we can give any subject to the student. And when we talk about this vocational, so how can we get so many teachers and all? There might be, like if practicals are not happening in the school, We have done it through e-learning, through internet also. There are apps where you can get the practicals done. Physics, chemistry, practical, biopractical can be done online also. So there are many ways, and the government as well as the authorities, they will take out some ways that for all the A, B, and C category schools as well as the government schools, the way will be taken out, that how these few problems which may be created, how can this be done, and slowly and steadily we'll be able to do good about it. Thank you. I think Malsar is not there. Thank you. Malsar is over there.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sarabpreet, for being with us again and speaking to us on the NEP. And we had a little bit of a problem with it not getting on Facebook, but it's there on YouTube, and we put it onto the Facebook. So
No issues, sir.
thank you for that talk on the NEP, on the relevant aspects of the NEP, for a quick look into it. And good evening, everybody. And once again, for this disruptive education platform where we meet gentlemen like Sarabpreet, we thank Dr. Sunita Gandhi. I have two messages for you.
Yes, sir.
GETI, which is the Global Education and Training Institute, ensures proper teachers training to transform education. We are amongst the best in India, and we have many in-service and pre-service programs. And for these details, please go to getilearn.org, GETILEARN.org, or contact us on 740-840-1000. Also, I request you to watch our Detox Disruptive Literacy Movement, which was originated by Dr. Sunita Gandhi in 2014, and it was her initiative. And the idea is the old adage, each one teach one, to make sure that all Indians have foundational literacy and numeracy. So thank you, everybody, for being with us, and see you tomorrow then. Thank you, Sarabpreet, for
Thank
being
you so
with
much,
us.
sir. Welcome, sir. My pleasure. Okay, sir.